She was 7 years old, barefoot, her dress patched with love, not money. She walked into a luxury hotel in Accra, not to steal, not to beg, but to ask. "Sir," she said, voice steady, "may I please have milk for my baby brother? I promise I will pay you when I grow up." The manager laughed. The guests ignored her. But one man, a millionaire, no one recognized, heard those words and did something that would echo across Africa. This is not a fairy tale. This really happened. And her promise, she kept it. Her name was Ama Serwah, born in a small village near Kumasi, where the soil was rich but opportunity was not. Her parents were cocoa farmers, hardworking, proud, but broken by drought and debt. When Ama was 5, her mother passed from fever. Her father, heart heavy, worked longer hours, leaving Ama to raise her younger brother. Kofi, born sickly, with lungs too weak for the dry Harmattan winds. The doctor said he needed milk, real milk, not the thin, watery kind made from powder. But milk cost more than a day's labor. So Ama watched, learned, waited. She didn't cry. She didn't shout. She made a decision, not for herself, but for her brother. Every morning, she walked 5 miles, barefoot, to the city, carrying herbs and handmade bracelets to sell. Most days, she earned nothing. Some days, just enough for a single egg. But she kept going. And then, one day, she saw it. A tall, air-conditioned hotel where rich men drank coffee and wore shoes that shone like water. She didn't know who was inside. She only knew. Milk was there. She entered, not with shame, but with dignity. "Sir," she said, "may I please have milk for my baby brother?" And then came the words that would travel farther than she ever imagined. "I promise I will pay you when I grow up." The manager scoffed. A guest snapped a photo, not to help, but to laugh. But in the corner, a man stood up. Plain shirt, no tie, no watch. He wasn't dressed like a millionaire because he never forgot where he came from. His name was Kwame Osei. Not a name in newspapers, not a face on TV, but behind the scenes, one of Ghana's quietest billionaires. Built a shipping empire from nothing. He grew up in a village just like Ama's. At 10, he sold oranges on the roadside. At 12, he slept on a shop floor to save bus fare. At 16, he walked 30 miles, barefoot, hungry, to take an exam. Someone once gave him a meal, just one. He never forgot it. So when he heard Ama's words, "I promise to pay when I grow up," it wasn't pity that moved him. It was memory. Memory of the child he once was. Memory of the dignity he fought to keep. He walked toward her, not with a bottle of milk, but with a question. "Why didn't you ask for money?" Ama looked up, eyes clear. "Because I don't want to owe today. I want to give tomorrow." Kwame knelt, and for the first time in years, the millionaire wept. He bought not one bottle, but a crate. Then he did more. Nurse, medicine, food, shelter, a solar lamp. So Ama could study at night. But he didn't stop there. He asked her, "What do you want to be?" when you grow up, without hesitation, a doctor so no child has to beg for milk again. Kwame made a quiet decision. He wouldn't just help her survive, he would help her rise, but no press, no cameras, just a promise, not to the world, but to a child. I will fund your education all the way to medical school. Not because you asked, but because you promised. Years passed. Ama studied under mango trees, walked miles to school, worked nights to help her father. But she never forgot her word, and Kwame never forgot his. 2008, Ama Serwah graduated, top of her class, in medicine. She didn't go to the big hospital in Accra. She returned to her village, built a small clinic, and hung a sign, not with her name, but with 3 words: I kept my promise. The first patient, her brother, Kofi, now strong, healthy, a teacher. Word spread. Mothers walked for days with sick children. Fathers carried the elderly on their backs. Amma treated them all, not for money, but for hope. And then, one day, an old man arrived, frail, sick. It was Kwame Osei. She recognized him instantly. Without a word, she treated him. For weeks, she cared for him like a daughter. When he recovered, he tried to pay. Amma smiled. Remember what you told me? You said I didn't owe you today because I would give tomorrow. Well, today is tomorrow. You don't owe me. You taught me how to give. Kwame looked around the clinic. Walls covered in children's drawings, a shelf of donated books, a photo of a little girl in a torn dress standing outside a hotel. Tears filled his eyes. I gave you a chant, he whispered. You gave the world a healer. Today, Dr. Ama Serwah runs 3 clinics across rural Ghana. She trains young nurses, especially girls who were told they couldn't. And every new student receives a small card with 2 words: keep promises. Kwame Osi passed away in 2016, but before he left, he donated his entire estate, not to family, not to fame, but to the Promise Foundation, founded by Ama, providing medical care and education to over 12,000 children. No statues bear their names. No movies have been made. But in that village, they tell the story like a proverb. When a child speaks with dignity, even kings must listen. This was not a moment of charity. It was a chain of courage, a child's quiet word, a man's silent memory, a lifetime of giving passed from hand to hand, heart to heart. So ask yourself now, who in your life has made a promise without fanfare? Who shows up not for applause, but because it's right? What if the next healer, the next leader, the next quiet flame is standing in front of you today, barefoot, voice soft, but soul on fire? This is the gentle flame, where quiet strength changes the world. Stay gentle, stay strong, and keep listening.